Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I have for you one of my favorite builders of all time, and something I use a lot in tournaments and show matches. Most recently, I used it in Game 7 versus the Max in a show match that we played the other week. I haven't uploaded to YouTube, but if you caught it on Twitch, you can see that I executed a very clean builder and was able to end the game in like 21 minutes, which is very like strange for mirror matchups. In fact, we were playing a main war, and generally those end up going to late game and has to do with a lot of map control and hill control and a lot of plumed archer, micro and macro. But I was actually able to close it out mostly due to his bad map, but also just because of how aggressive and how fast this builder is. So I don't have a notepad for you like I normally have, but just to run you quickly through the builder, it's basically a one lumber camp, one range men at arm build, and the idea is to go for 4 men at arms early rush, then transition into a range, and then a fast blacksmith to get up fletching right away, to get even more pressure with the first few archers, and then after that fall back behind our walls, and eventually just be able to get a really fast castle around 20 minutes. In fact, in this builder, I've pretty much perfected the build and got a sub 20-minute castle age, 1942 in fact, and you just win the game right when you get the crossbows at the start of castle age. I am also fully walled in this builder, so again, there's very little ways that I could actually fail even in a real game. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the build. Notice that I actually recorded this beforehand, and I'm going to be casting the rec here, or showing you guys the build via rec, just because the build is so sharp that I couldn't talk while showing the build, and so I'm going to have to just go over this recorded game. However, I'll keep the fog of war, so it feels like I'm actually just playing it for you guys here. Alright, so cool. The build starts out like any standard men at arm build. We're going to go for 6 on sheep and just scout like a normal map. Keep in mind, normally I'd go with a builder. When I'm showing a builder, I go with Saracens because they don't have an eco bonus. However, this is, mostly effective with mayans or like mayans, any civ that has a really good early game economy bonus. So for mayans, you get the longer lasting resources, but you also get that extra villager that really helps you get these insane times. So yeah, with civs like Saracens or Vietnamese, they don't have the greatest economy. I recommend you guys just stick to more slower based builders that work a little bit better with those slower civs. However, if you're in a position where you're able to pick a civ for a certain game, I recommend like Arabia. I recommend picking Mayans or Aztecs, and you can maybe pull out this builder once you guys have practiced it enough. Alright, so I'm going now. My fourth will go to wood. I actually do a small, well, it's a mistake. I send it to boar, but it should be 4 on wood. I'm going to send the next one to wood, and I will dance with the boar under my TC until that sheep is done. So, small mistake for me in this build, but it doesn't really amount to anything, as you guys will see. There you go. I'm just going to dance with the boar underneath my TC. Cool. And I'll just pull him back. There you go. So yeah, the build doesn't really change too much. I'm going to get my house and then berries. Very standard men at arm build. I guess the important thing to point out here is that you have to pick a very solid woodline because you're only planning to do one lumber camp at first. So you want to make sure that you have a really safe woodline. So this one in the back, for example, would be much better than taking this one in the front. Just in case I get pressured, I don't want to be pushed off my only woodline. So that's like, in a real game scenario, the only thing I would have to watch out for. Alright, keep in mind also that in this build we go with 4 men at arms. So not only is it a very economy-based build that we're going to value our early farms, but we're also going to get the 4th men at arm to be able to put the pressure on our opponent. Even if he goes for like 3 men at arms himself, we still have the upper hand because we went with 4. So this build is all around aggressive, as well as going to get a sick castle time. So you're pretty much ahead in every stage of the game. That's what makes it so powerful in my opinion. Alright. There you go, and pretty standard stuff. Getting my my boar in, going to send the 5th one to wood, and I'll get my barracks here. Like any normal men at arm build, can't stress it enough. I will go up 23 population, and I will click to feudal age. The reason I'm going 23 pop is obviously just because mayans get that free villager at the start. So 23 pop with mayans is the same as 22 pop with any other civ. So cool, nothing special so far. The last 2 villages will go to gold here as per usual. Getting the barracks down the front as well. Alright, perfect stuff. Also, I won't be attacking my opponent because obviously it's just an AI, but you generally want to get the men at arms out as quickly as possible so you're able to move out across the map. There you go, pretty much perfect time here, 10:08. Very solid stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make the militia as quickly as possible. Notice I'm already making the first one. I can't stress this enough, guys. With this build, you want to go as fast as possible to be able to hit your opponent right when you hit feudal age. That is the goal. Obviously, like I said, I won't move out, but I am making them in pretty good time here. Also, a little side note there, since you're going up 23 pop, you do need this extra house here with mayans, just to make sure you don't get housed when making the 4th men-at-arms. And here I am already starting to wall up. Like I said, this build even lets you wall up. So what do we got so far? 4 on berries, we got 7 under the TC, we got 1 villager building a house and walling, and we have 8 on wood. We're going to keep pretty much 8 on wood for the rest of the build, at least until we click up to Castle Age. Alright, I'm pretty sure you can sneak 1 farm. Also, keep in mind, I'm not using any deer, so this is a consistent build with no deer, so you can always get your good scouting. So I'm going with 2 farms here, gonna get my first range, or my only range really, down right away. And I can afford men-at-arms and double bit-axe right off the bat as well, with 0 idle time. That's how strong mayans are. You know, you can always get that solid economy in. And I'm already going to get the range down right away. Notice how I'm seating a couple farms, but not too many. You don't want to get carried away. I'm seating 4 farmers here. Again, you don't have to memorize. And I'm going to send 4 to gold. It's very important I send 4 to gold right away. I might even do a 5th to be able to afford archery range production. Alright, so let me pause here real quick. Keep in mind, we don't want to sacrifice archer production just to get the fast fletching. The idea is to go with fast fletching, but also have a few archers out right away to be able to do damage to our opponent. We don't want to sacrifice the archer production for the fletching, so I'm going to be able to constantly produce archers here, and then I'll sneak in the fletching when I can actually afford it. I will seed 4 farms and now prioritize my blacksmith, so I also never fall behind in vil production either. So again, vil production, archer production is very important here. I'm gonna get my house, gonna probably just wait for a blacksmith here. I get it right now, perfect stuff. Archer production is still high. I very rarely sacrifice on that. And then once you get the blacksmith down, you actually don't need to spend any other wood on, you know, a second range or anything like that. So it's all about farming now. So farming and building houses is all I need. And like I said, 4 on gold, it's enough for archer range production. Alright, I'm sacrificing archer production for a little bit here because I'm out of wood. But again, as soon as I can afford it, I'm gonna go ahead and click it. So this is a small mistake here from me. There you go. You want to get that production up as quickly as possible, and actually send a 5th to gold. All right. There you go. And I'm also walling my map. So keep in mind, like this build, I delete my men-at-arms here, just because in a real game scenario you would probably have these die by now. But yeah, like I said, like you're gonna be walling in this build as well. It's not an all-in build. It's not like you're gonna be exposed at home. You should be able to defend yourself. I will say though that the biggest weakness of this build is probably late feudal aggression. So if he goes with a lot of skirmishers or scouts and then attacks you in late feudal age, maybe with some towers, you could actually like lose the game. But again, you will have some walls set up, so you have some basic defenses up at least. Alright, so keep in mind that at this point I have like 4 archers with fletching versus a regular in a regular game versus a human player. I would already be moving across the map, and I would probably hit my opponent around 14 minutes, so very quick with those fletching archers. And like I said, walling up by minute 16, I should be fully walled here, at least to my TC, very well protected. Notice the amount of farms I'm putting down. So only 5 on gold. One range is constantly producing archers just to get a little bit of pressure on the map, but I'm also just prioritizing a lot of these farms, and this is not, you know, a typical archer build. Typical archer build, you'd have like 8 on gold, maybe 2 lumber camps, 10 on wood, and you're producing from 2 ranges. But again, this is a special build that you can do with these fast civs to prioritize that early castle age. Alright, so take a look at my food count already rising. Gold count is getting up there as well. I'm slowly adding a couple more villas there as well. So I'm going to have 7. The goal is to get 8. Yeah, I'm going to send 1 more there. And then I'm probably going to click up. I got wheelbarrow. It finished by 16:30. I think I clicked it at 15 minutes. And there it is. 1 vill goes down, and I'm going to be force dropping, and I'm up. 1938 castle time. I challenge anyone to do this build and get a quicker castle age time than this, because this, like I said, in game I usually get 20:34 or 20:30 in a real game, but obviously versus AI I'm free to do whatever I want, and you know, there's no pressure. 1938 castle time. There is no men-at-arm archer build that can get a faster castle age than this, so this is just an extremely fast build. And notice how with the berry villas as well, they should finish right around when you click up. I'm making a second lumber camp, so my economy is going to be really good going into castle age. It's not like I'm sacrificing anything. It's not like I'm abusing the market. This is just a raw build. I'm getting horse collar now. I should have mentioned that you skip out on that in the feudal age. Yeah, it's not like I'm abusing the market. It's not a build that is going up on low economy. You will have enough economy to afford everything and a TC, I'm pretty sure. So it's just a very, very solid build overall here. I'm going to pause when we hit the castle age here, and I'm going to show exactly what we're going to prioritize right when we get up to castle age. Alright, so this is the stats when I'm up to castle age here, 1938. I've got 650 food in the bank. That's going to be enough to get a crossbow, bodkin, and bowsaw while maintaining veal production. So this is pretty much perfect food. Gold, yeah, I should have enough for bodkin and crossbow. So that's, pretty much perfect as well. Wood, I'm not going to reseed this farm. I'm going to send him to wood. I should be able to afford a TC very soon, probably in the next minute or so. So overall, my resources are looking pretty good to execute exactly what I want. I'm going to get all my upgrades as well as be able to afford a TC relatively soon. I'm fully walled here. I closed it up with some houses. This build doesn't get better than this. This build is super, super solid, although it is fragile. If you don't copy this build pretty much perfectly, you will find yourself, lacking the resources to be able to afford exactly what you want. And if you do take damage, because let's say you fail your micro with the men-at-arms or with the early fletching archers, you could find yourself falling behind and actually getting pressured. So it does require a very skilled pilot to make this build work, but I think with a lot of practice, you could actually get this build down. Obviously, this is a very perfect time. A realistic time frame would be like 20, 30, or 20-minute castle each time in a real game. And I think if you get to that stage where you're able to do this consistently, this could be a very, very good build to pull out with these top tier civs, like mayans, Malians, Aztecs, a lot of these good early game civilizations. So let's go ahead and finish off this build here. Let's see which upgrades I'm going to prioritize here. Bodkin arrow, bowsaw, and crossbow right off the bat. And then I'm going to be able to afford a TC very soon as well. Notice how I'm not seeding my farms. This is very important. So it's important not to mess up this build. You need to do it pretty much perfectly. And there you go. I'm going to drop my TC here. It's just such a solid build. Also, keep in mind that you could do the archer armor earlier. That's one mistake I did. I should have done it on the way up to castle age. That's okay. I just did it when I was in castle age. No big deal there, but it definitely does help to get it out earlier just in case. And other than that, it's a very solid build from here on in. You just play it like a regular castle age, crossbow, boom kind of scenario. But again, that early castle age is where you need to steer your games, and it's how I beat the max in 22 minutes in that show match that I played against him last week. So if you guys checked out that game and want to know how I did it and how I beat him so quickly, it was just because of how aggressive this build early game is, and then how strong it is when you get that fast castle. Granted, he did have a bad map. But like I said, this build is just super, super sharp and super effective if pulled off properly. So 2 TCs by minute 22 as well, or 2 extra TCs, and you're in a great position here with plenty of archers and a good early game or early castle momentum. So I hope you guys enjoyed this builder. Like I said, it's a little bit complicated to follow. I don't have a notepad as well for it, but if you just pay attention to where the builds went in this video, maybe replay it a couple times, I'm sure you guys can get the build down for yourselves and try it out in your own games. And even if you can play a tournament and pick your civ, I recommend picking mayans and pulling this out once you have the practice on it. And let me know in the comments how this build works for you, what you thought about it, and if you liked the video, drop a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So that's it for this one. Take care, and bye for now.